Alright guys, moving on to our next set of Patreon requests, and this first one comes from Bill McLaughlin, who asked me to do a three-way crossover between Treasure Planet, Mass Effect, and Stormhawks. So yeah. Anyway, as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube, once you hit the third tier. But other than that, hope you all enjoy this, and let's get started with the video. So, basically for this story, this story begins with essentially like how the story begins is like it starts on Atmos, and what has happened is that IG Domowick, the the asshole of an excavator, has been digging around an old temple, like an old temple that belonged to the people who were like the first people, like the first ones, and basically he's more or less been digging around and discovers that he discovers like these old carvings of the first people, like I forget what they're called, like the first ones, and he's looking and seeing these carvings of like these massive beings that these massive machines that came down to Atmos eons ago, and there was a war. But it wasn't so much a war as it was an extermination. What happened was he basically has discovered that the Reapers wiped out most life on Atmos before fucking off, like they did when they wiped out the Prometheans, and they basically wiped out like all life, moved, and that was the end of it. But in this temple, he also discovers that he goes deeper, and he discovers this place wasn't just a place where, you know, they made their last stand against the Reapers. This was also a hideout for someone else. That hideout was a man named Captain Flint. And Flint had a device that could open portals to other planets, especially his planet that he was holding all of his gold, Treasure Planet. Yeah. So somewhere in the history, Reapers came, wiped out most life on Atmos, fucked off, and let life start over again. And then, a couple thousand years later, Flint and his crew actually found Atmos and hid a lot of their stuff there. Now, as Domowick's fucking around in there, he basically accidentally activates a switch that essentially sends a signal out into deep space, and that gets the attention of people from neighboring galaxies. On one hand, we have Amelia, who has been tasked with finding this signal, which has been very close to another thing she was a part of, so she is married to Doppler. And she takes along Jim Hawkins with her, as now he is a corporal in the Navy. He is now a soldier in the Navy. The other end of that galaxy, you have Shepard and his crew, who pick up the signal and are like, that kind of sounds a little familiar, to Proteans, and they're like, oh shit. And God, it has been a while since I played Mass Effect. I don't even remember what the first original race was called. I need to get back. Shame on me, it's my favorite game, and I'm trying to pull all this out of memory. So now the stage is set, and Domowick, he takes Flint's little device, his little portal jumping device, and is like, I know what I can do with this. What he doesn't realize, though, is that the Cyclonians have also, found the place, and Domowick's like, I can go to 1,000 worlds and plunder 1,000 treasures, and then he gets blasted in the back and just sent flying, and he hears, you can plunder 1,000 worlds? No. And it's Master Cyclonus. The Cyclonians take the portal jumping device for themselves. So now, what's going on is that the Cyclonians... Cyclonus isn't an idiot. First off, the first thing she discovers is that what is going on is that she's quickly discovered that she's a big fish in a little pond. She's seeing, like, all these other alien empires and kingdoms throughout the galaxy, and, like, she wants to, expand the Cyclonian influence, but, like, she realizes she can't do that in her state. Like, if she she hasn't even mastered space travel yet, but with the portal device, basically what she plans to do is send raids out into different parts of the galaxy, from suitable planets, do little raiding parties, and just take what they need, bring it back so they can study it and retrofit it, and also take, like, weapons, ships, and reverse engineer it so they can learn about it and further expand their empire. Now, obviously, Cyclonus is only sending her best troops out into combat. So she's sending the Nightcrawlers, she's sending, like, Dark Ace, she's sending only her elite to go do this. Well, one of those planets that they raid is the spaceport, and the spaceport actually gets hit pretty hard, and this, of course, they're like, after this, the fleet, Amelia and Hawkins are brought in and, like, hey, we don't know what's going on, but, like, we don't know who these new people are. They're not pirates. They're like almost like a military. Like, these guys are military trained. They know what's going on. So they are now tasked, because now they need to get back to this signal thing, and they're like, it's no coincidence. It can't be a coincidence that, like, this signal that's being resonated out in space, and these attacks that seem to happen on and off are, it's not a coincidence. So Amelia and Jim get a crew together. They go out, but as they're traveling to where they believe it's Atmos, where they think the signal is, which is Atmos, they run across a more advanced ship, and that ship is the Normandy. And Shepard is like, "Hey, Garrus, you see this, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's an 18th century Earth ship flying through space. Let's go say hi." So the Normandy, like, pulls up next to him and is like, "Hey, your tech's a little different from ours." And they're like, "Yeah, we're from a different part of the galaxy. We're from the farthest edge. Our tech kind of evolved a little differently." So Shepard's like, "I'm Commander Shepard. I'm the captain of the Normandy, and I take it you've heard, like, a signal out in space, right?" So yeah, the two groups agree to pool their resources and head out further into the universe to see what the flying fuck's going on. Now, of course, back on Atmos, the Stormhawks have kind of caught wind that there's something really not okay going on with the Cyclonians, because now they're hitting Terras with heavier technology, they're hitting them with much stronger weaponry, and their ships are getting more advanced. So the Stormhawks are trying to figure out what exactly this jump in this technological advance is. Like, they're trying to figure out what exactly caused this massive technological jump for this group. I mean, for the Cyclonians. So Piper and Arrow and the other Stormhawks are trying to sneak into a Cyclonian research base, which is on, like, the border of the Cyclonian territories, to figure out what's going on. And what they discover is that, yeah, they've basically, like, the Cyclonians are somehow jumping to other worlds and taking alien weaponry and using it for their own. And that's when they get found out by Snipe, who is now decked out in new, like, armor that's stronger than ever. By this point, however, he gets shot in the back by an unknown visitor, and that visitor is Grunt. And Grunt and Snipe get into a fist fight, because Grunt's just like, "Krogan!" and just tackles Snipe, and the two of them get into a fist fight. And they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And that's when the rest of Team Normandy comes blasting in with Amelia and Jim now at their side, and that's when they immediately realize, oh, this planet isn't exactly advanced. This planet isn't advanced enough for space travel. And they're like, the furthest we got was the stratosphere. who the hell are you guys? And they're like, we're from outer space. Like we're from outer space. It's a tough thing to explain. And Arrow's just like, try us. We can handle a lot. So Shepard and Amelia explain what's going on. They're like, that was way too much to take in. And they're like, right? So the three groups do agree that this needs to be stopped. Like Cyclonus needs to be put down for before they really fuck with shit they don't understand. So all three factions agree to like unite and join forces to battle Cyclonus. And yeah, just the thought of the Condor, the Normandy, and the Legacy, all three ships like flying towards Cyclonia, as Cyclonus is like seeing three different ships from like different parts of the galaxy all coming at her. She's like, motherfuckers. So the three groups do like just this image of like Jim, Shepard, and Arrow breaking into the Cyclonian castle to battle Dark Ace and Cyclonus is just a great mental image, right? Just a lot of fun shit happens. You have like Amelia, Piper, and Tally just kind of like back to back fighting their way through soldiers. Stork and Joker having an argument of who's the, just trying to see like who, like trying to outpilot one another with their respective ships. Just a lot of fun shit. By the end of it, Arrow destroys the portal device, and the weapons are destroyed. The weapons manufacturing group that the facilities that Cyclonus had are destroyed. So by the end of it, Cyclonus is unable to like expand her empire, and by the end of it, this still has ramifications because like now Atmos has to like step up and be part of the big cosmic scale. So in the end, Cyclonus still got what she wanted, but she's now like got to work her way up in cosmic despotry or whatever the fuck word. But anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much the crossover. Once again, I'd like to thank Bill McLaughlin for this Patreon request and continued patronage. And you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.